No contact is not a tool for revenge, manipulation, or control. It's a period of separation designed for healing, clarity, and growth. When we're constantly in contact with someone, especially after an emotional fallout, our judgment can become clouded. Emotions take over, and instead of making decisions based on logic and self-worth, we act out of fear, attachment, or desperation. The purpose of no contact is to create space, not just physical space, but emotional and mental space too. This space allows you to take a step back and see the situation for what it truly is, not what you wish it to be. In this time apart, you're not just healing from pain or loss, you're learning about yourself. You discover the parts of you that may have been overshadowed by the presence of another person. This period serves as a mirror, reflecting your own needs, strengths, and areas for growth. It's about rediscovering your value and reminding yourself that you are whole even without the presence of someone who once played such an important role in your life. Let's be honest, it's not easy. Silence can feel heavy, like you're drowning in unanswered questions or doubts. But it's in this silence that you begin to hear yourself. It's in the quiet moments, when you're tempted to reach out, that you realize how strong you can be. Every time you choose yourself over the need for validation, you're building resilience. You're teaching yourself that you are enough. No contact also provides clarity about the other person's role in your life. Sometimes, when we're too close, we fail to see the cracks in the foundation of a relationship. Distance gives perspective, helping you evaluate whether the relationship was truly nourishing or if it was draining you emotionally, mentally, or even physically. Without this pause, it's easy to continue in cycles of misunderstanding and pain. This isn't about pretending the person doesn't matter. They may have been a significant part of your story, but no contact is about realizing that your story doesn't end with them. It's about closing a chapter to make space for the next, whether that's rediscovering your own strength, finding peace, or even rebuilding the relationship from a healthier place in the future. Choosing no contact is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you value your own well-being enough to create boundaries. While the road may be challenging, it leads to something invaluable: a clearer mind, a fuller heart, and the ability to truly know your worth. When we talk about staying strong during no contact, one critical step is focusing on your healing. Healing doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen if you're constantly reopening emotional wounds by checking on the other person or replaying old conversations in your head. This period is not about punishing yourself with thoughts of what could have been. It's about allowing yourself the grace to process what has already happened. Healing starts with acknowledging your emotions. It's okay to feel hurt, sad, or even angry. These feelings are valid because they're part of the process. But don't let them consume you. Don't let them define this moment in your life. Instead, use them as stepping stones to move forward. Journal your thoughts, talk to someone you trust, or simply give yourself permission to cry if you need to. These are not signs of weakness, they're signs of release. Every tear shed, every word written, and every conversation shared lifts a small piece of the weight off your shoulders. During this time, redirect your energy to activities that nurture your soul. Focus on things you may have neglected while caught up in the relationship or its emotions. Dive into a book that inspires you, pick up a hobby that brings you joy, or spend time with people who uplift you. The goal is to pour into yourself the love and attention you may have been seeking from someone else. This isn't about distraction, it's about rediscovering what makes you you. Healing also involves taking care of your physical well-being. When your heart feels heavy, it's easy to let self-care slip through the cracks. But staying active, eating nourishing meals, and getting proper rest are essential. Your body and mind are interconnected, and when you care for one, the other benefits. Go for a walk, practice yoga, or sit in nature. Let these moments remind you of your strength and your ability to move forward. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Healing isn't linear. There will be days when you feel like you've made progress, and days when the weight of the situation feels unbearable again. But every step, no matter how small, is still a step forward. Don't watch the process. Trust that with time, the pain will fade, and clarity will take its place. This period of healing is about choosing yourself and rebuilding fractured parts of you. It's about coming out stronger on the other side. Remember, every effort you make to heal is an act of self-love, and that love will carry you through. Another essential part of staying strong during no contact is setting clear boundaries, not just with the other person, but also with yourself. No contact isn't just about avoiding a phone call or a message. It's about protecting your emotional space and creating a space for growth. Without boundaries, you leave yourself vulnerable to the same cycles that caused pain. Boundaries begin with clarity. Take a moment to understand why you chose no contact. Was it to heal from a toxic relationship or regain your sense of self? Whatever the reason, write it down and revisit it when tempted to break the silence. These reasons form the foundation of your boundaries and serve as reminders of why this space is necessary for your well-being. Setting boundaries also means resisting the urge to check on them. Whether it's scrolling through their social media or asking mutual friends about them, it might feel harmless, but it reopens emotional triggers. These actions tether you to the past when you're trying to move forward. If you catch yourself doing this, stop and redirect that energy into something meaningful. Think of it as training a muscle. Each time you practice, your discipline grows. Boundaries extend to your thoughts too. It's natural for your mind to wander to memories, conversations, or what-ifs. When these thoughts surface, don't dwell on them. Acknowledge them, then gently let them go. Practice mindfulness techniques like deep breathing or meditation to help center yourself in the present moment. Remember, your mind is your sanctuary, and you decide what occupies its space. Protect it with care and intention. Sometimes, boundaries mean explaining your decision to others. Friends or family might not understand why you're choosing no contact and may pressure you to reconnect. Be firm but kind in expressing your need for this time apart. Let them know it's not about holding a grudge or being cruel. It's about prioritizing your peace and emotional recovery. Their support can reinforce your commitment to yourself and your healing journey. Lastly, honor the boundaries you set. It's easy to justify breaking them when feeling lonely or nostalgic, but each time you uphold them, you reinforce your self-worth. You show yourself that you deserve respect not just from others but from yourself. Boundaries aren't walls to keep love out, they're frameworks to protect the love you have for yourself. Staying consistent transforms this self-respect into the cornerstone of your strength. Another vital element of staying strong during no contact is recognizing the power of self-discovery. When a relationship ends or distance is created, it's not just about losing someone else, it's about rediscovering yourself. The silence, though challenging, provides an opportunity to turn inward and ask, who am I without this person? Relationships can blur our sense of self, making it easy to lose sight of our individual identity. This is the time to rebuild your identity with intention. Self-discovery begins with curiosity. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, focus on what you can gain. What are your passions? What activities ignite your soul? Perhaps it's been years since you pursued a hobby or learned something new. Now is the perfect time to revisit those parts of yourself. Each small step reminds you of your uniqueness and capacity for joy beyond any relationship. The journey of self-discovery also means confronting parts of yourself you may have ignored. Maybe there were compromises in that relationship that didn't align with your authentic self. Maybe you silenced your voice to avoid conflict or adjusted your dreams to fit someone else's plans. Use this period of no contact to reflect on those choices. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? And how can I honor my truest self moving forward?